Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for making it out to Gum Springs tonight. We're ready to get started at 6:30, and I'm going to turn it over to our superintendent as this is the second of our millage rate hearings.
All right. Thank you and welcome. As required by law, we are having an official millage rate hearing. I want to make sure that you're aware that this was advertised in the paper, and so we are each year the board has to annually evaluate their proposed budget, and the proposed budget calls for a small rollback in our millage rate. So our recommendation from the board is to roll the millage rate, which is presently 19.131, back to a millage rate of, make sure I get it exactly right, 18.858. So that still results in a small tax increase because property values have increased in our area, which is certainly good for all of us in terms of economy. But we are rolling the millage rate back to a portion to try to offset some of that impact. So this is a time that we welcome anyone who has questions or comments. That is a right that you have as a citizen, and we welcome that. So anyone who has any questions, you have an opportunity to ask those at this time. This offer stands. Anna Dodge, who is our CFO, is also at West Jackson Middle School. We did move this meeting, which was originally scheduled at West Middle, to this school, and that's primarily because we've had quite a bit of renovation taking place at West Middle, and they're not quite finished. And so when the board is hosted, West Middle wants to make sure that they are in the shape that they want to be and be proud of the work that has been completed. So this meeting, which was scheduled for West Middle will be highlighted in November. So because we had some folks that may have thought our meeting was going to be held at West Middle, Ms. Dodge is there. So if anyone comes in before the close of the meeting, we'll give anyone an opportunity to address the millage rate or any questions that they may have about our proposed budget. So please know that offer stands, and we appreciate you all being here. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Ms. Wilson, and thank you for being here. I do want to make the company here aware that Mr. Bryant, who is our board chair, is out of town, that he is joining us via phone. So we can, as many of you do, he's telecommuting. So he's communicating with us via the phone. He's with us over the line. But Ms. Wilson is going to facilitate our meeting tonight, so I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, in that case, we'll go ahead and call the Board of Education meeting to order. And I believe that there's probably a group of bright children to say the Pledge of Allegiance for us.
All right, can you guys come forward? Mr. Gratian might want to tell us, or maybe they are going to tell us who they are, who they represent.
So these are our 5th grade Panther helpers. And this is just a sampling of our helpers, and they have many jobs throughout the school each day with helping students get to and from class, assisting in different areas, raising and lowering the flag. And this was a group that was willing to come out this evening for the pledge, and I want to thank them, and I also want to thank Miss Miller, our counselor, who oversees them, for all the hard work and great things that they do.
Please stand. Hold on, let's stand up.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to look over our minutes? And if so, may I have a motion to go ahead and approve the minutes? May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And now that the agenda is approved, I can turn it back over to our superintendent.
We approved the minutes. There are no changes to the agenda, so we
Oh, yes.
want to approve the agenda.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So
And a second. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Well, I'm very grateful to Mr. Gratian and Ms. Wright and all of the leadership, classroom leaders and student leaders for hosting us here at Gum Springs. It's always a pleasure to be here. We've got a great crowd. We have several recognitions this evening, but the first thing that we're going to do with tradition is to highlight this school. So we're glad to be at Gum Springs, and those of you who are not familiar with our meetings, we rotate our meetings each month to give every school an opportunity to highlight some of the activities and the remarkable experiences that students are having at that school. So Mr. Gratian and Ms. Wright, I'll turn it over to you all.
I'm going to attempt to go without the microphone, if that's all right. I think I'm loud enough. But good evening. And first off, thank you, Dr. Howard and board members, for giving us the opportunity to share some of the great things that we have going on here at Gum Springs. It's been a great start to our school year. And I would like to, before we get into the presentation, to recognize the staff that is here. We have about a dozen or so staff members who have joined us, and I really appreciate all that they have done and their continued support for not only me, but the students and the rest of the staff that we have here at Gum Springs. This year, one of our main focuses has been looking at culture and climate, and we are implementing the PBIS program. So we thought that a great thing to highlight for us this year would be some of the experiences that we've had just over these short 6 weeks that play with our PBIS program. So we have a video that we put together with some of our staff members and some of our students that we'd like to show. And after the meeting, if anyone is interested in hearing more, several of the students as well as the staff would love to share any information that you'd like to know about what we are doing here at Gum Springs.
We have both enjoyed PBIS being adapted to our school. We think it had many changes in behavior and more rewards for our school. One of my personal favorite things was the tribe sorting and the tribe meetings. The tribe sorting, you all got an envelope just for you, and we all counted down to see what tribe you were in. I was excited to see the people in my class that were in my tribe and even in the school.
When we say open, after I count backwards from 5, when we say open, you are going to open your envelope to see if you're lucky enough to be eligible. Ready, here we go. 5, 4,
The tribe meetings were really fun. I personally liked Geronimo's because we got to make up a tribe cheer and a tribe chant. I also enjoyed them because we got to do many fun activities like a rock, paper, scissors competition.
The tribe meetings are every 2 weeks, and we practice our chants there, we make our symbol, and we play games sometimes.
There's something called Panther Playoffs. Panther Playoffs is a reward for the great behavior that you have in your classroom and in the tribe meetings, for the points for your tribe. This time, everyone was invited, and we got to play a big game of hot potato.
Are we ready?
The kids are about to play hot potato with all of our staff. Let's see what they're doing.
Still pretty, but here we go. So everyone, give me a P.
P.
Give me an A.
A.
Give me a W.
W.
Give me an S.
S.
What's that spell?
Pause.
There you go. Well, pause stands for a couple of very special words. The first letter P stands for
Pride.
the A stands for
Attitude.
the W stands for
Word.
and the S stands for
Safety.
Now, as you're going around the school, you probably see a lot of posters that look like this. And what we are trying to do is make sure that everyone understands exactly what the pause matrix is telling us.
You show pride by doing your best in your work, not just saying, this is good enough. Just doing your best, doing the best you can, and working the hardest.
It changed because, like, when I was in second grade, I was kind of struggling, and then, like, now in third grade, I'm doing way better than I did in second grade.
I've noticed that people, they're working hard and doing their best, and
They want to make sure everybody's safe in our school, on the playground, at specials, in the cafeteria.
Because of the PBIS tribes, children are acting more like ladies and gents.
Alright, good. What did you like about the tribes?
And I like that I get 165 points.
Alright.
Staying on task.
By being good in the hallways.
Not talking when the teacher's talking.
Awesome. And Ella, what do you think about pause in the lunchroom? How's it helped?
People aren't really running around and getting hurt and taking other people's stuff.
What do you guys think about the students having to take responsibility in the lunchroom and having to have lunchroom duties? What do you guys think about that, Dawson?
They're cleaning up after themselves, and not everyone, because the janitors have to do other stuff.
Okay. And Ella?
It prepares them for the real world.
I kind of felt like I was on an island with my grade level, and that it was more of an upstairs, downstairs feel and environment throughout the school. There were some staff members, like Elizabeth, that I would not have gotten to know if it weren't for outside events, like child daycare, or that there were some staff members that I really didn't get a chance to know until May. And this year I've seen that be completely the opposite. Not only, I mean, through it being my second year here, but through our tribe meetings as well. There are staff members that are on my tribe that last year I never got a chance to interact with. But this year I get a chance to interact with them every other week during our tribe meetings.
I love the interaction between kids from the upper grades to the younger grades, getting to see each other, try to earn the points, to see who has the most points at the end. You know, it really just builds up our morale at our school.
In Challenge 4th and 5th grade are doing a museum project on the PBIS tribes.
In the museum, you will find facts about all 6 tribes.
We bet you that when you see all the Native American facts, that you will learn a lot about your tribe and yourself.
The museum is based on real Native American tribes.
What you might see in the museum are their shelter, clothing, weaponry, and their habitats.
We both enjoyed PBIS, and we hope it continues being great.
For letting us highlight some of the great things we have going on here, and I look forward to all the great things that are to come as we continue to build community and really force and push for that student advocacy piece. So thank you for letting us present.
I just want to say thank you to Mr. Gratian and Ms. Wright and all of the teachers and students at Gum Springs. They've really embraced a challenge that we put forth to our schools, and that is to make sure that every student feels valued and appreciated and knows what the direction is. And this is a really important part of the vision and culture of our school system. So Mr. Gratian and Ms. Wright, thank you so much for ensuring that that happens and making sure that we put kids first. So thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to be here. The next recognition is really exciting. Many of you are very aware that we have an outstanding agricultural education program in Jackson County. And so at this time, I'd like to call Mr. Todd Schultz to the podium to give just a short overview of some of the amazing highlights that we get to share with our community related to our ag education program.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for allowing our FFA members to come today. The FFA teachers and all the students are actually getting at that time of the year where it's full blast ahead here, almost to October, which is National FFA Convention. And one of the things I guess I commend on our FFA chapters from middle all the way to high, not only is this a state powerhouse, a group of individuals, these are national powerhouses. I mean, these students are competing on national levels, they are winning on national levels, and it's one of the largest student organizations in the United States, almost 640,000 FFA members across the United States. So it's not a little thing. But first, I think we saw this young man. I'd like to call him up in SDEV and his ag teachers too. This young man won our state creed competition. Mr. Nate McKinney, come on up, and Felipe and Mr. Pedraza, Mr. Gilman, come on up here too, if you wouldn't mind. One of the things, just to kind of lead in, and we asked Nate to go ahead and give the creed, but they look at lots of different things when they're doing the creed. It's poise, it's speaking. I think we even have conversations with business folks in our community, and one of the biggest things they wish that they had people that could have good communication skills. And when you think about a student that can go up in front of, at the national, at the state, he was up in front of about 7,000 people, and he did the creed in front of them. He's going to be going in a little bit bigger crowd, but we're really proud of him. Nate won the state FFA creed this past year, and he will be competing on the national level coming up in October. So I'm going to turn it over to you, if you don't mind, real quick.
The FFA Creed by Ian Tiffany. I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, and hold an inborn fondness for those associations which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, and the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself, and less need for charity and more of it when needed, and being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community, which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Thank you.
I could be done now, but that's not the last thing. But first of all, I didn't get a chance. Mr. Pedraza came on with our group this past year and is doing an amazing job there at East Jackson High School. Mr. Gilman is retired, but he came back to join us with the 49%, and we're glad to have him in our program. Plus, we have Mr. Josh Whitworth is a young farmer instructor. Our other high school chapter is not laying low. There's Dr. Lawrence and also Mr. Micah Story is our advisors. One of the things that we're very proud with them, if you would like to bring your students up here, I guess, if you wouldn't mind. They actually completed in the national chapter competition and was ranked as the 3-star gold medal chapter. which is one of the highest ranking chapter honors in itself. And it also goes on the morals, the standings, and it really embeds what the whole program is about. And it's looking at the whole program. It's talking about the student leadership, student living, everything. I'm going to let them introduce their group that's with them tonight. I know you've got an area officer too, so I don't know which one of you would like to speak there. I'll go ahead and do that.
My name is Peyton Puckett, and I'm the president at Jackson County Comprehensive High School. Hey y'all, I'm Noelle Plunkett. I'm our vice president at Jackson County High School, and I'm also a reporter for the Area 2 FFA.
Hi, I'm Ashley Allen, and I'm the historian for our Jackson County High School chapter. Hi, I'm Audrey Eagle, and I'm a reporter for Jackson County.
And I'm Shannon Lawrence, one of the advisors, Micah Story, FFA advisor.
Thank you. Have y'all heard anything through National Chapter, or are you just doing like Gold Star, or we go Free Start? So that, again, congratulations to the Jackson County Comprehensive High School FFA chapter. So they'll be going on to the national, and they represented us very well in that. Thank you. Next group I was wanting to introduce, and I believe we've even got a pretty good group coming from there, is West Jackson Middle School FFA. If y'all would, please make your way up. Again, we've got a brand new advisor, and we're very glad to have her as our advisor for West Jackson Middle School, Miss Casey Moody. It's fun to see, this is like, I mean, we can probably go across all the ag teachers, when we see some of our own students that's graduated from our programs coming back and working for us. And she's doing an amazing job. She's got an amazing group of individuals, but we're glad to have Ms. Moody back with us at West Jackson Middle School. If y'all would, introduce yourselves. This is the group that's come over from West Jackson Middle.
Hi, my name is Joseph Ledford.
Sorry.
Hey, I'm Jesse Tronick.
My name is Maureen McDaniel.
Well, to tell a little bit more on this group too, they are going to be representing West Jackson Middle School in the National Medal of Excellence again, and they're in the top 5 in the nation again. This is not the first or the second or the third. I think it's the 4th year that they've actually been in the top 5 chapters in the nation in the middle school programs. Last year, the group was actually number 1 in the nation. We've won 2 or 3 times. We've won 2 times already, which is quite an effort, and that we were second the other times. But we've got the individuals that are going to be going, and actually they have to do a 20-minute presentation. 15. Okay, I'll give them a couple more minutes. But they're going to go up in front of a group, and they actually have to do a presentation on their chapter activities, 15 minutes going through. Is there anything special we want to say about it? I know we've some.
Got a little stuff prepared.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to let y'all go with it right there.
As I said, my name is Joseph Ledford, and like he said, we're getting recognized for the national chapter. We're the top 5, and as an officer team during the summer, we plan the different areas that we're going to achieve in the program of excellence, and throughout the different year, we plan during the summer as an officer team.
So like you said, we're in the top 5 again, and so at the end of the year, each chapter turns in their program of activities, which is just a list and description of different events and activities we held throughout the year. And so a panel of judges will revise that, and then since we chose the top 5, we'll go to the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis and present our speech about different activities we held through last year.
And the national chapter award application that we had to turn in, we focused on 3 main areas, and those were building communities, strengthening agricultural and personal growth, and we listed 3 activities per area to talk about throughout the 15 minutes.
Congratulations and best wishes. Please, let's give them a round of applause. We're very proud of this group of individuals and the whole chapters overall. The last thing that we've got 3 individuals who are actually not with us today, but we want to mention them, is they are receiving their American FFA degree. Only around 1% of the whole population of students in FFA receive their American degree. All three of these individuals are currently in college. Two of them are in ABAC. We've got Miss Lexi Reynolds and also Jessica Cassidy. Both of those are from the Jackson County High School FFA. And then also we've got Carly Howington, who's going to UNG from East Jackson. Something that's really kind of neat and it's encouraging too. We were discussing all three of these individuals are looking at becoming ag teachers in their future. So we're very proud of them, and we wish them the best, and we're very proud of our students that represent our schools and our counties as they go on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz, and I want to thank our FFA sponsors and ag teachers, and they pour a tremendous amount of time and energy, and you talk about advocacy and passion for our students. They are a model for the work that we want to happen there. We also have several parents here. I see the McKinney family, and I see several others who are here to support your children, and I know you do a lot of running, and you do a lot of listening to the creed, like multiple times, and Nate, you nailed it. That was awesome. We're proud of you and wish you luck. We wish all of you luck. So thank you for all that you do, and congratulations for the work that's happening there. All right. At this time, we'd like to start with our Rotary recognitions. As you know, each year our Jefferson Rotary recognizes two students, one from each, well, actually 4 students, one from each of the high schools in Jackson County. And at this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Palmer if she'll come. Ms. Palmer, yours is going to be recognized next month, right? So we'll be at East Jackson next month, and we'll recognize and have that student recognized there. But you'll see them on the agenda. That will be Lauren Barrett, and she'll be introducing Mr. Donnie Byram, who's also a coach. Excellent. So that leaves Dr. Jones, Jackson County High School. If you can come forward and introduce the Rotary student and the Rotary teacher for the month of September.
It's always a pleasure to be at our feeder schools to see all the great kids that are coming our way. It's also my pleasure because I get to share the latter end of their educational experience at the high school. And tonight we're going to see one of those students who's just an amazing young lady. It's my honor to introduce our Rotary Student of the Month, Ms. Alex Collier. If you'll come on up here, please. And Alex chose Colonel Anthony Abbott as her most influential teacher. So Colonel Abbott, if you'll come on up here too. Alex is a wonderful young lady, just a pleasure to be around. She's one of those kids that is just a great balanced individual. She's a scholar. She is an artist, an amazing artist. She's a leader and just a fine person to be around. She influences those around her in so many positive ways. Her parents are Chris and Rue Collier, so thank you very much for raising such a fine young lady. She is taking a very rigorous course load here in her senior year. She's taking AP Biology. She's taking Drawing and Painting 3 as an independent study. She's in JROTC, Level 4 class. AP Macroeconomics, AP Calculus BC, Honors Human Anatomy and Physiology, and AP Seminars. So again, when I talk about her extracurriculars as well, I don't know how in the world she has enough time in the day to do all of this and do it so well. She is involved in several JROTC activities, including the Raider team, the drill team, and color guard. She's also a member of the National Art Honors Society, the National Honor Society, and Beta Club. She's been recognized several times during her high school career, and I'm sure that she will also earn several more in her senior year. But as to this point, she's been named the Superior Cadet, the Order of Daedalians ROTC Award, the American Legion Medal for Scholastic Excellence, Sons of the American Revolution JROTC Award. She's an AP Scholar and an AP Scholar with distinction. So just a very well-balanced individual. She's got the academic side, but also, like, if you saw her artwork, I mean, it's just amazing. I've got one of the pieces in my office, and it's going to be a cherished belonging for a long time. So what I'd like to do now is go ahead and turn over the mic so she can talk a little bit about why she selected Colonel Abbott as her most influential teacher, and also share with us what she plans to do after high school.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. I mostly picked Colonel Abbott because JRTC was a big turning point in my life. I got out of middle school afraid of my own shadow, and I just tried to hide behind everything, and JRTC really brought me out. It really helped me develop and become who I am today, and Sergeant Major was also a big part of that, but they only let me pick one, and Sergeant Major's really busy right now. We would also probably be talking forever. So that's why I chose Colonel Abbott, and he just retired, so it's kind of a thank you gift too, even though Mark and I have another one planned. The whole staff's working on it, but again, this is very daunting for me because it's just weird to see the culmination of everything laid out in front of you, but I think it's also a rewarding experience, and JRTC has really taught me to take what you have, make something out of it, and help others see it, and help others reach their goals, and help others hopefully see their future ahead of them as well, and see the culmination of their hard work, their blood, their sweat, and their tears. And that's mostly what I've learned. I've learned that it's not really you who matters, it's you and everyone else working together, creating a synergy of whatever you're working towards. And Colonel Abbott has really helped me with that, and I've also learned that sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, and that really helped me pull me out of my shell, I'm not afraid of my shadow anymore. So I'd like to thank Colonel for that. Would you like to speak?
You giving me the mic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll see if you'd like to speak. You know, Dr. Jones said a few minutes ago the litany of her achievements. I will tell you though, one thing is that he needs to add to that is that she's the battalion commander, which is the highest ranking cadet this year for the program. And that you can imagine is no easy task on top of everything else that she does. It's neat to see the transformation that occurs when they come in as a ninth grader, as a freshman. They're, like she said, almost afraid of their own shadow. They're full of issues and no solutions. And it's great to see the transformation from freshman to senior, because they go from all issues and no solutions to very few issues and solutions. And so I don't doubt what lies in her future is anything but success. So Alex, best wishes for your not only your senior year, but what's to come.
And as Alex mentioned, Colonel Abbott has retired, and so I want to make sure that I publicly thank him for not only influencing Alex, but the countless others that you have touched along your journey. And we wish you well, and we know you'll still be around. And you got a little while to catch up with me, but you're working on it really quickly. So, but thank you, Colonel Abbott. We appreciate everything you've done for our school, our kids, and our community.
Certainly congratulations to Alex. We are very proud of you. You didn't tell us what you're planning to do, and you may not know, and that's okay, but I'm sure whatever it is that you strive to do, you will achieve and go beyond. So we wish you luck. Is there anything you want to share at this point in terms of what you want to do in your future?
I'm trying to get into Georgia Tech.
You'll do it. All right. It's early in the year, so you've got plenty of time, but we certainly will be thinking of that and look forward to hearing how you do. And Colonel Abbott, I want to second Dr. Jones. You have had an amazing influence. I've been to our ROTC banquets each year at both of our high schools, and we have so many great programs that build student leaders and future successes, and you guys are a critical part of that. So thank you for your contribution, and don't stay away. I knew you had retired when I saw that beard coming in. So thank you again. All right, at this time I'd like to call Dr. Blankenship to the podium to introduce our Excellence in Service Award winners this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Howard and board. Just to remind everyone, the Excellence in Service Awards recognize the efforts of an employee, a volunteer, or a community partner, really our unsung heroes, who without their efforts we would have a harder time furthering Jackson County School System's vision, mission, and guiding principles. So we like to honor these individuals and groups for their help in us furthering that mission and vision. So without further ado, let me call our first recipient, Ms. Teresa Dearman. Ms. Dearman's nominator wanted to remain anonymous, and by the way, she works in our student information support with the central office. Ms. Dearman is at once unique and representative of so many people who work for the Jackson County School System. As a part of the support staff in our central office, she works with parents of students already in our system and those transferring in or out, school system staff, our own and those with whom we exchange records, and others seeking information about the data entrusted to our care. She's meticulous and thoughtful in her work, safeguarding what needs to be protected and graciously accommodating all that she can. Among her special gifts are the ability to create, from cast-offs and set-asides and the things she can borrow or salvage, theme-driven decorations that turn events like our new teacher orientation into Pinterest-worthy celebrations. She probably should have 1 million followers on Pinterest. But what really sets her apart is her deep concern for children and families. Her ability to decorate anything surely comes from a heart filled with compassion and an eye for the good in people. Her willingness to connect with our families is matched only by her determination to do the best she can for each of them. She treats her coworkers and the people she serves with affection and deep regard for their humanity. We are blessed to have her among us, and Jackson County is blessed to have her in its service. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Ms. Brandy Moon, the Food Service Manager at North Jackson Elementary School. Ms. Moon's nominator is Ms. Chelsea Weeks. I would love to have Brandy Moon recognized as a Jackson County employee who goes above and beyond for people and students in our school system. She is truly a one-of-a-kind individual. Not only does she keep our cafeteria at North Jackson Elementary running as smooth as possible, but she makes sure each child's needs are met. She selflessly takes care of our sweet children. Also, she keeps the staff well informed and does anything to help out our needs to make sure the students' day runs smoothly. Even on a personal level, I've been blessed in a time of need, off school premises and ours, when she just happened to be there. She jumped up without a second thought to help in an unexpected situation. It is the type of person she is, and we are blessed to have her in our school system. So I think you see a theme here. People who are willing to give selflessly of their own time and efforts to make us all better. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I want to thank both of those outstanding individuals. As Dr. Blankenship stated, I hope that you see a theme in the entire school district, and that is advocacy for kids and advocacy for excellence. So thanks to both of you. You are both amazing people, and sometimes, as you all know, behind the scenes folks that you don't see all the time are the ones who really keep us all going in the right direction. So thank you very much. We're grateful to you. That is all the recognitions we have at this time, and I believe I should recognize the fact that Mr. Bryant has had to sign off, but he will. We'll update him. He told us he had to leave at 7, so we're good to go. So at this time, I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, and before we go to the business aspect of our meeting, since I do have the microphone tonight because Steve Bryant wasn't able to be here, I just wanted to say from my heart that budget and buildings are really not my ideal topics of choice, and that's a lot of stuff that the Board of Education has to do. But I'm so grateful that our superintendent and the district leaders decided to start rotating around to all the schools so we can recognize each and every child and their accomplishments, because I realize how truly well-rounded we are. And I don't know why I'm emotional, but thank you.
So Ms. Wilson is going to be rolling off the board. She's elected to be a full-time mom, and she served the Jackson County Board of Education for 8 years and been a great servant leader, and we're very grateful for that. She will serve her last term ending in December, and I feel certain that's part of your motion is seeing the contribution that you've made. And we'll need to go over the consent agenda, but with your blessing, I think we should discuss each of those, and then we'll...
I agree.
Okay?
Yes.
So the board will decide whether this is certainly it is a consent agenda. If there's anything that we need to do single, I don't think there should be any issues. I just want to remind the board as well as the community that we're submitting our capital outlay application, which will afford us some access to funds at the state level to continue with construction projects, number one being the high school off Skelton in 332. Also would like the board's your blessing, basically, and your support in us moving forward with bringing forth to our community a bond referendum that will be brought forth in March of 2019, and we'll spend several months preparing and making sure that folks are understanding. But the bottom line is, while we're bringing a bond referendum forward, it will have minimum, if any, impact to the bond millage rate based on where our projections are, and we're also going to try very hard to offset that with our maintenance and operations, our M&O general fund bond. So we'll be bringing more information to our community. We'll be visiting schools, but that right now you're giving us support to move forward with the development and the referendum for our community. And then, of course, here you'll see that we're asking for Bowen and Watson be approved for the construction management for site work only, and that is a revision. And then, of course, you see their personnel and disposal of surplus items, and that's all that we have on the agenda. Are there any questions for the consent agenda items? Okay, in that case, can I have a motion to go ahead and approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
In a second. Okay, thank you. And how about a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here this evening. I think Mr. Gratian welcomed you and said if there's anything else you want to see while you're here, please make yourselves at home. We've got some great kids here, and congratulations to all of our recipients of honors tonight. Very deserving.